Pardon me.
When he gets up.
I've known Larry Schweikert as one of the leaders of the environmental movement. Larry has been passionate and committed to making sure that we're doing everything that we can to protect our planet. Larry's been a champion of addressing the horrific challenge of climate change we face. Larry's been at the forefront of making sure that young people are involved in things that we have to do. And then even in the face of crisis, the Gulf oil spill, we figured out a way how we might be able to protect wildlife, which is so precious. So I know he has left already an indelible mark with the National Wildlife Federation. The National Wildlife Federation is much better because of all the work that Larry has done. But the United States, and frankly, the entire world, is much better today because of his great contributions.
Hi, Larry. It's Bob Redford. You're retired already? It's an odd word, and if I had to guess, a little redefining. Of course, you deserve a chance to sleep in after all these years of fighting the good fight so effectively and with such passion. You made a difference, a big difference. And I know you'll continue in your own way, even though there's this persistent rumor that you're retired. Thank you for all of it. It's meant a lot to the world and for generations to come.
The thing that's so special about Larry is something that's a little bit hard to put into words. He has a depth of character and wisdom and a willingness to share moral insights about the deepest aspects of the work to solve the climate crisis and protect the environment. And you know, everybody that gets involved in this work has a personal struggle of some kind between hope and despair, just because it's very hard and we've got to win it. But I can tell you that for me personally, Larry has been an incredible friend, because at times when I need it the most, he'll reach out and share some great pearl of wisdom that goes right to the heart of what's going on in the struggle. And I'm so grateful for that.
Dad, you were always campaigning for our love of nature. Even your frugal background bent in order to implore your daughters to pay attention to the things bigger than us, like the key deer or the Delmarva fox squirrel, which you promised the first to spot with $20. You were so adamant for the wilds of Yellowstone to capture your teenage daughters' hearts that you even swapped out a cramped rental car for a more convincing convertible. You were wise to invest in our panoramic view of buffalo herds, the recluse bear, and moose eating from the rivers. Even the shooting stars that lit up those big skies you showed us will not be forgotten. I've watched our world change drastically in just 3 short decades. And in recent years, I've often wondered about the source of your enduring optimism. While it's undoubtedly fed by your deep faith, Dad, I know it has also been shaped by the many hardworking, caring, and charismatic National Wildlife Federation members and employees that we've been blessed to know. Our family has been gifted with your time at NWF and by your passionate and productive career. You began working with NWF the year I was born, and although that season is ending, I know your passion to protect the world you deeply love will continue. I thank you for your persistence in shaping my love of nature, Dad. Those memories, moments, and dreams for more adventures still fill me with the purest joy. And I believe your optimism will continue to feed those who work tirelessly for a more just world for wildlife.
Larry, on behalf of people and wildlife everywhere, and generations to come, thank you. We'll continue your work with the passion, professionalism, and determination you demonstrated each and every day.
his wife Clara and their family here to the stage for some comments to inspire us to continue.
We wanted to thank the entire family for the tremendous support you have all given NWF over the years. Larry always points to his family as the source of his passion and his reason for working so hard to protect the planet. We are all so grateful to the Schwager family. Thank you, Larry, and thank you to all of you.
As I finished my final journey with the National Wildlife Federation, I felt it fitting to be a guest of the Climate Reality Mexico project. Last week I visited Mexico City with 22 million people living with not enough water, facing climate change. The people of Mexico, 80% of them have intermittent water, and it was a profound experience for me. You know, when I came back to the National Wildlife Federation in 2004, it was with a promise. In fact, I told the board of directors, and perhaps in an arrogant way, I said, if you don't want to work on climate change and make it a top priority for this institution, then do me a favor and don't hire me, because I'm really happy at the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. And to my surprise, they decided that that was, in fact, the thing that they wanted to work on, and they in fact, hired me. I knew it would be an enormous undertaking with little time to waste because of the science at the time. I was naive enough to believe that the captains of the carbon industry would at some point comprehend the ominous consequences of climate change and that would befall both the rich people of this world and the poor, and would therefore stop resisting and put their efforts into solving the problem that we have so often talked about in the past with many of the environmental threats that are facing us. Well, I was wrong. Fossil fuel interests have been thwarting every effort that we've tried. They've stopped legislation that we've worked on. Their moral compass has been put aside, and they put their full weight behind blocking progress, deliberately creating doubt and confusion, deliberately attacking the scientists who have worked so hard on this issue, and at the same time they continue to turn up the heat on a pot that's already boiling over. For example, they're now calling for more tar sands to be delivered to the XL pipeline. They're seeking more coal exports to China, and all of this in a time when we're already overheating the planet. As hard as it would be under normal circumstances to constrain carbon pollution, I was frankly stunned when the U.S. Supreme Court turned corporations into people and money into free speech, knowing full well that they created a playing field that was tilted heavily in the direction of powerful interests. The more money, the more free speech. Nor did I know the many state legislatures and governors would put their thumb on the scale when they use voter suppression techniques and trick many people with database gerrymandering, carving up districts in a way that were unbeatable. All this puts democracy at risk and undermines efforts to stop climate change. After 10 years of fighting for comprehensive legislation, I feel like I failed in my original goal. However, I'm reminded that losers are not people who fail, but people who quit. And I want you all to know that I am not quitting. I will not stop until we have a climate policy that is a scale big enough to end the climate crisis. All is not lost. Children are my hope, and these guys and their two cousins are my greatest hope. After my talk in Mexico City last week, a young woman came up to me, a little girl. She was about 7 or 8 years old, and she tugged on my sleeve, and I stooped down to talk to her. And with a very serious face, she said to me, "What are we going to do with with the people who don't care. My response after a moment of reflection, honey, it's a great question, but our future will not depend upon those who don't care, but upon those who do care. Her question reminded me of Margaret Mead's famous quote that a small group of thoughtful people could change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And I have to tell you that it's been my great honor to work with so many caring people at the National Wildlife Federation. The people that are in this room are going to change the future for wildlife. I am confident of that. I believe in you. I believe that working together we can win this thing. And I have to say that I have had the greatest staff in the entire world. I mean that sincerely. And all through my career, I've had outstanding conservation leaders working side by side with me. And I've been blessed with great mentors and people who have influenced my life in a way that I can never express. So it's in this room I give you credit for all that you have done and all that you will do. And I want to extend particularly to Colin my best wishes and my promise that I will do everything I can to help you in your leadership, taking this organization to the final goalpost. We can win this thing. We must win this thing. And under your leadership, I think we will. Thank you.